Well, hello there, and welcome to another Zomdizzle video. If you've happened to stumble across this video and you haven't heard of Luke the Notable, you should go check him out right now. He's the one who originated and popularized this idea of surviving 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. Other YouTubers have done it as well. One of my personal favorites is Skies. You should also check him out. He's been blowing up here lately. But anyways, hardcore Minecraft. Mobs spawn more often, they do more damage, and if you die, your world's gone forever. So you might be asking yourself, what is ultra hardcore Minecraft? It's everything I just mentioned, but you can't regenerate health. Only crazy people do it, but hey, we're crazy, so it'll be fun. The only way you can regenerate health is through golden apples, instant health potions, potions of regeneration, and then also suspicious stew. This took a ton of time to record. It took about 30 hours of record time and 50 hours of edit time, so if you could leave a like, it would be greatly appreciated, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe, and then I will catch y'all in the next one. On day 1, I spawned in, hopeful for what this new Minecraft world had to offer, and then I got what is possibly the worst Minecraft spawn ever. No trees, only ocean and grass, so I did what any rational person would, and I kicked up some grass, contemplated restarting, and then I decided to go with this world and see what it had to offer. So with my positive outlook in mind for my tiny little island, I turned up my render distance, and then I walked around the island to see if there was anything on the horizon, any hope at all, because right now it was looking pretty grim. And then that's when I turned, and I saw it. There was a Badlands. My mind came completely overwhelmed with gold. That's all I could think about. I saw a savanna, which would have much more life than a Badlands. But my mind was not thinking that at the moment. It was completely consumed by gold. So I did it. I took off swimming in the distance to go see what the Badlands had to offer. I submerged from my nautical journey, and then I saw it. It was beautiful. What would become my home for the next 100 days. Then this became a normal Minecraft journey, and I went out, I collected some wood, and then I started a small little farm. Did you know that coarse dirt had to be hoed twice? I sure didn't. I don't know why, but I did some brief exploring, found a ruined nether portal, took my first bit of damage, and then looted the portal, and there was nothing good inside. So I took some damage for no reason. Then I went and I got some stone, and then I went back up and I built, very frantically, the smallest house you've ever seen, but hey, this is all about survival. I then mined through the entire night, and all I found was some coal. Not very productive, but at least now I can light up this massive house that I have. On day 2, on 2 hunger bars, desperate for food, I ventured off. I found some raw cod, took damage from a pufferfish, and then all I could find were clownfish and a couple more raw cod. And at some point, finding Nemo becomes eating Nemo. Please don't tell my son. I then ventured back, chopped down some trees, found an apple, and then returned for nighttime to do some more mining. That night I mined again. I found enough gold for a golden apple, and then I let a creeper scare the poop out of me so he'd feel better about himself. And then, at the end of the night, I still had 27 iron and 15 more gold on top of the golden apple I had. This Badlands was already paying off for me. On day 3, I emerged from my mansion just in time to see the sunset, and then watched a zombie die, and then I went back to the mines. That night, I made iron tools, armored up, poked my head outside, gave a big nope to that, and then found some more gold and some fake diamonds. More importantly, what would become my main mine shaft was starting to take form. On day 4, I chopped down an entire forest in hopes to get apples because that's about my only source of food at the moment, and after an entire day I only got 6 apples. I'm going to need to figure out something else fast or I will die out here. I then made a massive expansion to my farm by a whole 7 blocks. That's going to be sure to bring in a lot of wheat. And then I finally made a door for my house. But looking back at the gameplay footage, I must have been pretty paranoid because the door alone didn't make me feel safe. I decided to put 2 cobblestone blocks behind the door. I must have been very paranoid. That night, I started by crafting the most valuable thing to me in this series, golden apples. Golden apples give you absorption, they regenerate 2 hearts, and they give you 2 extra hearts on top of that, and they restore some hunger. They're very, very valuable in an ultra-hardcore world, and I just made 4 of them, which is going to be a huge help. I then mined through the entire night, found more iron, more gold, more redstone, but unfortunately, there were no diamonds. On day 5, I made a boat and ventured off to the savannah that I saw earlier. I was desperate for food. I needed something more sustainable, and my farm was taking forever to grow. I knew there would be wildlife here, and once I got there, I was right. I killed every animal that was in my path, I made a bed, and then I slept under the stars for the first time in this series. Day 6, I finally cooked some actual protein and had an actual meal, and then I went around and I kicked up some grass, because there's a lot more grass here than there is back at home. And I'm going to need some more wheat if I want to survive in this series. I then had the crazy idea of, hey, I may want to build with acacia wood. I don't know why. It'll probably be the last time I ever have this thought, and I'll probably actually never use it. But I grabbed some acacia wood, and then I did some more exploring, found some new wildlife that I hadn't killed yet, so I slayed them as well. And then I did some more exploring and finally found me a desert village. I then immediately got my golden hoe and took every single one of their hay bales. And then it was getting dark, so I went and I kicked somebody out of their bed, made sure to let them know that it was my bed now, and then I went to sleep. On day 7, I did some more exploring, and then I found a desert temple of all things. I've died in quite a few of these before, so I decided to play it safe. I tunneled all the way down, and then I found a golden apple, some gunpowder, some string, which I was really excited about the string of all things because a string would allow me to make a bow, which would make me feel 1,000 times safer whenever it comes to having combat and not taking damage, because any damage I take I do not recover from. So I looted the rest of the desert temple, and then I went back up, did more of what I always do and killed the local wildlife, just keeping the populations down, and then I barely made it back to my bed right as the sun set, and then went to sleep for the 3rd night in a row. On day 8, surprise surprise, I'm out here killing the local wildlife again. It's what I do best, plus I'm going to need a lot of food, and I don't want to have to come back and do this again. So that's what I continue to do for the first part of this morning, get me a lot of food, and then I go back to my boat, and then I go back home to start getting prepared for the next step of our journey. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it all the way back to my house, so for one more night, I had to sleep under the stars. On day 9, we finally return home, and you know, I forgot how beautiful our house was. I mean, look at this thing. This is just something Minecraft builders dream of being able to build. We then expanded our farm, and you know what? Given 9 days, I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made. We've got plenty of food now, we've got a decent sized farm going, although I'm almost positive coarse dirt slows down the growth of farms, but not 100% positive. I then spent the rest of the day organizing my chest and getting everything organized. And say what you will about this house, but it's actually quite functional. We've got 2 double chests and 5 furnaces in here. What more do you need? On day 10, remember all that acacia wood we got? I decided to use it. I actually think it looks pretty good in the Badlands. I then got super lucky, and with one of my 9 eggs, I got a baby chicken. Things are already starting to look up. I then went and planted every single tree that I had, and turned right around and chopped down every single tree around me. I guess there's a balance there somewhere. With all these trees I chopped down, I got 1 apple. I then turned that into golden apple, which I ate to prepare for a night of mining. Through an entire night of mining, I got 25 iron and some redstone. Not a very productive night, but I'll take it. On day 11, I did some really exciting stuff. I went out and shoveled some dirt, getting prepared for a farm that I was going to make. I then did even more exciting stuff and made a whole bunch of walls, preparing for a whole day of wall building. I then went to sleep to prepare for such another exciting day. I don't want to sleep through every single night in the series, and the only way I'm going to feel safe enough to do that is if I build a wall around my entire property and then torch up every square inch of it, that way no mobs can spawn. So that's what I started doing. I started placing walls, and that's all I did for day 12. Day 13, I'm out here placing cobblestone walls again. I did this until I was completely out of cobblestone walls. I then went and harvested my crops, got a bunch of seeds which I then gave to a baby chicken, made him grow up real fast in life, and then made him grow up even faster by getting the parrots and the bats achievement. I needed more cobblestone for my cobblestone wall, so for the entire day of day 14 I went down and mined, and about the only good thing I found was a little bit of iron and 11 gold. Day 15, and we're back in the mines, mining for some cobblestone, trying to make some more cobblestone walls, but I found much more than that on this day. As I was mining out my main mine shaft, I came across some diamonds. Finally, for the first time, I had diamonds in this series. And then, later on that day, as I was mining some iron, I came across even more diamonds. I found 10 in total throughout the day, and you could tell how much I was prioritizing not taking damage by the fact that I skipped a sword and a pickaxe and all that, and I went straight for the diamond chestplate. Day 16 and the wall's done. I know everybody would love to see the whole process of building the wall and placing torches to light the place up, but you know what? I don't want to excite too many people out there. Day 17 is another one of those days that can make people a little too excited if I'm not too careful, so I'll just say this. I place torches all day. On day 18, I finished the exciting work of placing torches. I mean, look how many torches are there. There should be no mob spawning here. I then spent the remainder of the day chopping down trees just to get apples, and then after that, I ate a golden apple so I could get back up to full health, and then I went back home, and before the end of the day, I crafted 4 more golden apples with gold that I had mined the night before. Day 19, and I'm right here in the middle of this thick tree that I planted a couple days before, and you know what? This was one thick tree. It took me an entire day to cut this thing down. Day 20, I'm still out here working on these apple supplies, and then I had the crazy thought again of, hey, I may still want to build with acacia wood. So I chopped down an acacia tree that I had planted earlier, and then I went back and worked on my chicken supplies, and then I got ready for a night of mining. Days 21 and 22 I spent down in the mines. The entirety of these days were down in the mines. I was doing some strip mining, explored some basic caves, and then I finally found a bigger cave. This cave was guarded by a skeleton and some creepers, so I was extremely careful navigating this cave. And then I continued to go further in the cave, and there it was. I found some diamonds. At first it only looked like it may be 2, but I'll take any kind of diamonds at this point. So I lit up the rest of the cave because I didn't want anything sneaking up on me while I was mining these. And then I found that it was definitely more than 2, and it ended up being a full 8 cluster of diamonds. I mean, just look at them. They're just so beautiful, all those diamonds. But I found 8 diamonds, so I was incredibly happy that I decided to explore this cave. As I ventured further, I continued to fight off mobs. I had to take out a creeper right here, and then I found it. I found a spider spawner. So I ate a golden apple, because you can never be too sure with these things, and then I ran up, and then I took out the spiders. There ended up only being 2, but I just wanted to be safe. I didn't want to go up there and something be able to jump out from behind the spawner, or there be a creeper up there as well, and I get pinned, and then I end up dying. I wanted to play it incredibly safe. I had 7 golden apples, so I ate one. I then secured the spawner. I got the coordinates in case I ever wanted to turn this into a mob grinder, and then I started to open the chests. And man, was this completely worth it. I ended up getting a saddle and an enchanted golden apple. An enchanted golden apple, that's just crazy. I've only found like 2 of those through the entire time of me playing Minecraft, and I found one in a spider spawner chest. I then looted the chest, and I went back up with all of my belongings for the rest of the day. And at the end of the day, I ended up having, I think, 27 iron and 15 gold, which is a pretty good mining trip, but also 8 diamonds and an enchanted golden apple. I'll take that any day. I then used my 8 diamonds that I had, plus the 2 I had left over, to make a pickaxe and a set of pants. I was finally starting to get armored up and start making advancements with my diamonds, and then I made 2 more golden apples with the gold that I found, so I ended up having 8 golden apples total. After spending 2 full days in the mines, on day 23 I decided to do some exploring. I ended up finding a spruce forest that wasn't that far away from my house, and then on the way back I ended up finding a cow, and I decided to lure him home the old-fashioned way. It took a while. It actually ended up taking the rest of day 23. It took forever to get him up that Badlands mountain right there, but it took forever to get him home, and then once I got him home, right in time for sunset, I left him outside my house because I hadn't made a pen for him yet. On day 24, I made a pen for my newly acquired cow. I then lured him into his pen. I increased my chicken supplies, and then I went on an adventure for another cow. I went to the savannah that I had visited earlier, and then as soon as I found a cow, it was nighttime, so I slept under the stars to prepare for another day of luring a cow home the old-fashioned way. Day 25 here, and you know, it's really not hard to lure these cows. You just show them some wheat, and this one just hopped right in my boat. Look, he looks so sad. It's okay, we'll be sure to cheer him up later. You know, one of the hardest parts of getting these cows home is trying to get them up these stupid mountains. But we prevailed, and then I got him home, got him in his pen, and then he realized, you know, I was just playing Cupid, and he's happy now. Day 26, and we're out here doing my favorite thing, chopping down trees. I then went and cleared out some terracotta to make room for a much bigger, more sustainable farm. And then I went and increased my animal supplies. And I'm not going to show this every single day, but just know that in the background, anytime I get a chance, I'm basically working on increasing animal supplies. Just for food, and then leather for books and enchanting and that good stuff. And then at the end of the day, right before sunset, I laid the framework for my farm. That night I mined, and I found more diamonds. 5 of them. 5 more diamonds. That's enough to make a helmet, getting me closer to having full diamond armor. I also found 18 iron and 3 gold. I then went back up, made a helmet, and prepared for the next day. On day 27, I finished the outline of my farm, and you know, cutting down about 1,000,000 trees gave me enough wood to do something like this, so I think it all worked out in the end. I then placed dirt until I was completely out, and then I shoveled dirt until sunset. Mining on night 27 was kind of a dud, so I don't really want to talk about it, but all we got was 15 iron and pretty much nothing else. No gold, no diamonds, just 15 iron. Day 28 was filled with placing dirt, shoveling some more dirt, and then placing some more dirt. Good thing you only have to see about 5 seconds of it. The road off section over there to my right, that's going to be for sugarcane. The section I'm working on here now, that's going to end up being for main crops, and then the section below is all going to be for main crops as well. I think it'll look good when it's all said and done, and then also it's going to be a pretty massive farm. Should be able to feed me for the rest of the series, or at least until I automate some stuff. I ended the day by increasing my animal supplies, and then we went back to another night of mining. Surprise, surprise, night 28 was another dud mining trip. I got 20 iron, no gold, no diamonds. I'll let you in on a little secret too. My main mining strategy is to go down my main mine shaft until my wife tells me to stop. She'll then say left or right, and I'll strip mine, and what I get is what I get. So basically it's all her fault, and there's your life lesson. Get married, don't take responsibility for anything. Day 29, I'm out here breaking hoes. This coarse dirt really does a number on hoes. I harvested my beginner farm for the final time, planted my seed, and then broke another hoe right at sunset. Night 29 was another uneventful mining night. I got 5 iron and 4 gold. Again, wife's fault. But it was a pretty short mining trip. I wanted to get back up in time to see if there was any mob spawning on my property while it was still dark, and it looks like right now it might be mob free. Day 30, and I'm out here finishing up my farm. I was placing some water in it, finished out the farm with dirt, and then I broke another hoe right before sunset. Days 31 and 32 were spent down in the mines. I'm just trying to grind away so I can get some diamond armor, and I want to enchant it all before I go to the Nether, so doing quite a bit of grinding stuff right now, but I like mining, so it doesn't bother me at all. I didn't find anything too great. I found about 26, 27 gold, something like that, almost a full stack of iron, and then I found 8 diamonds, which for 2 full Minecraft days is not that good, but remember, it's not my fault. On day 33, I hoed the rest of my farm, and for once I didn't break a hoe. I may frame this hoe one day. I then harvested the rest of my crops, even though they weren't completely ready yet. I just couldn't help myself. I then planted seeds all the way up until sunset. Day 34 was mostly spent doing grindy chores around my base, like breeding animals and tending to my farm. And then about midway through the day, I decided to start going to get some terracotta for the house that I wanted to build. And on the way back, I found an abandoned mine shaft that had a cave spider spawner on the outside. Not that I'll ever do anything with it, but at least it's nice to know it's there. Day 35, we're out here exploring some of these abandoned mine shafts that I found, and I found absolutely nothing in them. I mean, absolutely nothing. It was a waste of an entire day. That night in the mines, I must have stopped listening to my wife, because I actually found some diamonds. There ended up being 6 of them in total. I then went and mined 4 obsidian, enough to make an enchanting table, that way I can start doing some enchantments. Day 36, and we're finally building our house. It took a while, but we're finally here. I want to build a mesa-style house. I've never built in the Badlands before, and I figured it'd be cool to try something new and out of my comfort zone, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use 3 different styles of terracotta for it: white terracotta, regular terracotta, and light gray terracotta, and basically have 3 tiers to the house. I worked on the house all through night 36 as well, and then I watched the sunrise the next morning before I hopped off my house on the waterfall. I quickly realized my house is going to take a ton of terracotta, so all I did for the entire day of day 37 was go out here and mine some terracotta for my house. Day 38 was a day of house construction. I added on this light gray terracotta section right here. I originally wanted this section to be out of brown terracotta, and I still do. I doubt I'll ever replace it because you can see how tall I'm making this section right now. I take a good look at my land right here, and you know, I'm pretty happy with where we've made it in this amount of time. And as you can see right here, the house is starting to take a little bit of shape, but I'm going to need a ton of terracotta for this. Day 39, and I worked on my house until I completely ran out of terracotta. I then went and got some birch wood and some saplings, and then got some spruce wood and some saplings because I knew I wanted to use both on the build of my house. I then came back and took a good look at my house, and you know, it's starting to take a little bit of a form to it. Day 40, and we're building on the house again. I decided to eat a golden apple because I figured it was only a matter of time, knowing me, before I fell off one of these high walls, and I need as many hearts for that as possible, so it left me with 9 golden apples and only missing half a heart, and I was going to eat one eventually anyways. I then went back and admired my house, and you know, I think it's going to look pretty good once it's all said and done. I then went and had a party with my cows. Well, a party for me, that is. It wasn't very pleasant for them. I murdered about 80 cows. It's all to get ready for enchanting, though, so I think they'll understand. I then made 15 bookshelves to get ready for enchanting on the next day. Day 41, and we're finally doing some enchantments. I took a risk on Unbreaking 3 on my chestplate, and I got Protection 4 Unbreaking 3, which was awesome. I then got Protection 4 Unbreaking 3 on my leggings right after that, so 2 pieces already have Protection 4, so great luck so far. I took a risk with Unbreaking 3 on my boots. They ended up being Fire Protection 3 Unbreaking 3, which isn't terrible. I was looking for Feather Falling or Protection 4. But I'll take Fire Protection. I then saw Infinity roll through on a bow, and I'm not going to pass that up because Infinity's better than Mending all day, every day. And it also ended up having Power 4, Punch 2 on it, so a great bow right off the bat, and my first 4 enchantments were really good enchantments. Day 42, and I'm out here having another party with my cows, just trying to get to level 30 so I can do another enchant. I end up enchanting my pickaxe and getting Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3. Still looking for Fortune 3 or Silk Touch, but I'll take it. I then take my fancy new pickaxe and I go mine me a lot of terracotta. And I gotta say, it's nice having Efficiency 4 when trying to get this much terracotta. Days 43 and 44, I mined. I found some diamonds. I fought a skeleton and some other mobs, which caused me to have to eat one of my precious golden apples. I then fought a zombie who dropped a carrot, which was nice because now I can breed pigs. I found some more diamonds, and then I found some more diamonds, and after an entire 2 days worth of mining, I ended up with 36 gold, 11 diamonds, and I think 54 iron, so pretty good. Day 45, and I'm doing some enchants. Right off the bat, I got an almost perfect helmet. All it really needs now is mending. I then took a risk on Efficiency 4 pickaxe, and it was just Efficiency 4 and Breaking 3 again. That night, I mined, and I found 19 diamonds, all in the span of about 5 minutes. It was all on the same line that I went on. Best luck I've had so far. It definitely wasn't a line that my wife picked. It must have been one that I did. Day 46 started with a horrible sword enchantment, and then to cheer myself up, I went and did my favorite thing, and chopped down trees. I got me some birch wood, I got some spruce wood, and I got some acacia wood, all preparing for the next phase of my house construction. Day 47 started with me enchanting my favorite tool, an axe. I got Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3, and I'm glad I got that because at one point I decided it'd be a good idea to plant about 140 saplings. I got tired of not having apples. I ended up regretting that decision, but the rest of the day was putting my newly acquired axe to good use. Day 48, and I spent the entire day chopping down trees. I told you I planted a lot of saplings, and it took forever to chop all the trees down, even with my enchanted axe. But I got a total of 12 apples from it, and then I took those 12 apples and I made 5 more golden apples, so I had 17 golden apples total. Days 49 through 51 were spent entirely in the mines. I wanted to do one last big mining trip before going to the Nether, and if you look right there, I got a ton of good stuff. I got 64 plus 17 gold, 37 diamonds, I got 22 obsidian to get ready to go to the Nether, but the gold is what I wanted the most. I mean, that's enough to make 10 golden apples, which is huge. On day 52, I did some more enchantments. I got Protection 4 finally on my boots. I then got Silk Touch on a pickaxe, but it was only Silk Touch, so that was unfortunate. I then got Knockback 2 and Unbreaking 3 on a sword. I was really looking for sharpness, but I'll take what I can get. And then I made my Nether portal room to prepare to go to the Nether. I then spent the next 5 days in hell. I absolutely hate the Nether, so I wanted to get this all done in one go. Try to find a fortress, loot it, and get everything and come back all in one go. The first thing I did was fortify my entrance to make sure nothing could get in, nothing could surprise me. I then fortified around a little bit just to make sure, because there was quite a bit of lava under me. I didn't want to fall through anything. So I just wanted to make sure everything was as safe as it could possibly be. And then, after some brief exploring, I finally found it. I found another fortress. It wasn't that far away. So I was pretty ecstatic about that because I didn't have to do a lot of exploring, but it was going to be a hard Nether fortress to go to. There wasn't really any good way to get to it, so I just started staircasing up, and I just staircased my way all the way up to this ledge right here. I then got to a point to where it seemed like my only option at the time was to bridge across the lava pool. I don't know why I thought this, but spoiler alert, that ended up being a mistake. As I was bridging across, this happened. Yeah, I was freaking out whenever this happened. I mean, I was like literally shaking. I thought my world was over, but thank God I had that enchanted golden apple. What ended up happening, there was a blaze on way far away on the Nether Fortress, and he ended up sniping me off of there. And then I fell into the lava pool, but thank goodness I had that enchanted golden apple. After that scare, I immediately went back up and fortified my bridge so that could never happen again. I then bravely fought a wither skeleton inside the fortress, and I found one of the 2 items I came to the fortress for. I then even more bravely fought some blaze. I mean, it was some of the bravest fighting you've probably ever seen. I then got 16 blaze rods, and I had nether warts, so I was ready to get out of hell. On day 58, I decided to plant about 150 trees again. I guess I didn't learn my lesson the first time, but I ate about 7 golden apples in the nether, I think. So this will be worth it in the end. I'll get quite a few apples out of this. I then spent the rest of the afternoon harvesting my crops right before sunset. On day 59, I turned my 1 carrot that I got from a zombie a while back into many more carrots using some bone meal. I then spent the rest of the day replanting my farm, and then worked on my house throughout the entire night. Day 60, and I'm doing one of my favorite things, chopping down trees. You know, planting 150 trees, it doesn't seem like it'll be a lot until you start chopping them down and you realize, okay, this is way too many trees. You know I didn't chop down 150 trees in one day, so day 61 we're out here chopping down some more trees. On day 62 I finally finished cutting down all those trees, and I got 44 apples and a ton of wood from all that, and a bunch more saplings, but I don't think I'm going to make the mistake of planting all those again. I then finished out the day by harvesting my crops and replanting them before sunset. Day 63 was a boring one, but I'm tired of running out of terracotta when building my house, so all I did for the entire day was gather terracotta. I had no idea it was going to take this much terracotta to build this house when I started. Days 64 and 65 were spent down in the mines just trying to get some more experience. I found a 9 cluster of diamonds, which is always a good sign. And then throughout the rest of the mining trip, I found a ton of redstone, which would be good for experience, and I found some lapis, a lot of coal, and I found 34 gold, which gold is always nice in an ultra hardcore world. Day 66 was a simple one. By the time I had finally made it out of the mines, it was already about halfway through the day. So I just mined all my stuff that I got with my Silk Touch pickaxe, that way I could get up to level 30, and then I went to sleep. Day 67, and I'm still out here grinding XP the hard way, just the way I like it. I then made 4 golden apples, found a wanderer on my lands, and disposed of him very quickly. I then went back to grinding XP again, the hard way, and then I took a risk on another enchantment for a pickaxe, and it ended up only being Unbreaking 3. I just can't seem to get fortune. Day 68 started with me finally getting Sharpness 4 on a sword. I then went back to that manual XP grind. These fancy XP farms, those are for kids. And then I finally mined my diamonds to help me get closer to level 30, and then I went and had a party with my chickens, and that finally got me to level 30. I took a risk on Unbreaking 3 on some boots, really hoping for feather falling, but I just couldn't get it. I got Protection 3 and Unbreaking 3, so it is what it is, and I've been putting off going back to building on my house for too long now, so that night I finally went back to building on my house. Day 69, stop laughing, was a day full of house construction. If I would have known it was such a monumental day at the time, I would have definitely done something other than working on my house all day, but I had been neglecting this for far too long, so all I did for the entire day was work on my house. Day 70, and I finally finished the outside construction of my house, well, at least the main walls. I still need to do some decorating. So after I finished that, I immediately went into decorating to start making it look a little bit nicer on the outside. The white terracotta section I'm going to decorate with spruce wood and spruce planks and such as that. And then the regular terracotta section I'm going to do with oak. And then the light gray terracotta section I'm going to do with acacia wood. I think the whole thing will look pretty nice once it's all said and done. But I just worked on the roof for the rest of the night, and then I went to bed. And you know what? I think it looks pretty good to start with. Day 71 was spent just trying to make the outside of my house look a little bit better. I worked on the white terracotta section all day. I think you can see the general theme I'm going for here, and so far I think it's looking good. Day 72 was a day filled with more decorating. I then went and shoveled some sand, that way I could make some glass to use in my house, and that's all I got done that day. It was not a very productive day at all. Day 73, and I'm still back here decorating this house. I decorated the regular terracotta section today. This is a section I'm decorating with oak planks and buttons and trapdoors and things such as that. The big wall section I definitely still need to do something with, but right now I'm really just focusing on the front of the house, and I think it's looking good. Day 74, and we're decorating the light gray terracotta section. I tell you what, Putting buttons on a house in regular survival Minecraft, not that scary. Putting buttons on the side of a house in hardcore Minecraft where you can fall off and die, pretty scary. Hardcore definitely intensifies everything you do. I then spent the rest of the day decorating the light gray terracotta section. You know, on a house this scale, I definitely need some more decorating. I need to add some more stuff in the walls and do a little bit more stuff, but for right now I think it looks pretty good. I then added another layer, another floor to the regular terracotta section, which was going to be my storage section of the house. Day 75, and I'm decorating the inside of the light gray terracotta portion of my house. Ultimately, I want this to be my bedroom, so I want it to look good, but the spacing and the sizing in here is a little weird, so it's going to take some time. I'm going to have to come back to it. I then went and worked on my chest area, starting to get ready to get organized. Normally in Minecraft, I'm someone who's very organized, and I've spent 75 days being unorganized, so I'm really excited to actually get organized for once in this series. Day 76, and I'm making my storage area look a little bit better. I don't want this just to be a room full of chests, and I want it to actually look somewhat nice, so I'm just trying to make it look better any way I can. It's already a little cramped in here. I then decide to make a bridge between the two taller terracotta sections of my house. I think it'd be cool to be able to come up to one terracotta section, and then the only way to go across to the top of the other one is through a bridge, so that's what I start doing, and I work on that for the rest of the day. Day 77, and I worked on this bridge all day, using planks and trapdoors and all. It was kind of nightmarish. Anytime I tried to put a trapdoor down as a handrail, if it wasn't a full block, it'd leave a space, and I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I'm stubborn, so I wanted to try to figure it out myself. In the end, though, I think it looks pretty good, and I think it's also a cool way for me to get to the top portion of the light gray terracotta section of my house. Alrighty, so this next little section is going to be a little bit odd, so just bear with me, but for days 78 through 85, I did the following. During the day, I would do just normal stuff around the house, getting organized, crops, breeding animals. Sometimes I would go mining, just doing little stuff like that. And then through the night, I would go to my pro-level Enderman killing station. I mean, this is just a pro-level Enderman farm. And then I would kill Enderman, trying to get Ender Pearls. That way I could make Eye of Ender, so I could find the stronghold and defeat the Ender Dragon before the series is over. And then I also didn't want to sleep. That way Phantoms would spawn, and I could get Phantom Membranes from them. So that's what I did for all of these days. Throughout the day, I would just do stuff around the house, and then at night, I would run around, anger Enderman, come back to my pro-level Enderman killing station, and then whenever Phantoms would spawn, I would kill them too. At the end of it, I had 14 Ender Pearls and 6 Phantom Membranes, so it ended up working out pretty good, and that got me set up to start getting ready for the Stronghold and start making potions. Day 86, I set up my potion brewing area on the top of the light gray terracotta section of my house, and I think it works pretty well up here. I ended up brewing potions all day. I brewed 12 slow falling potions, so that's 48 minutes of slow falling. If I can't beat the Ender Dragon in 48 minutes, then I'm doing something wrong. It doesn't matter what kind of difficulty level I'm on. And then I had 6 strength 2 potions, which should be plenty for that as well. And now I'm finally feeling prepared to go fight the Ender Dragon. Day 87, about the only productive thing I did that day was gather some obsidian and make 2 ender chests to get ready for some extra storage for the Ender Dragon fight. Not a very productive day, but also not the least productive day. Day 88, and we're making last second preparations for the Ender Dragon fight. I combined my bow to have a fully repaired bow that now has Unbreaking 3 on it. I then repaired all my armor with extra diamonds. Yeah, maybe being a little too paranoid, maybe being a little overcautious, but in a hardcore world, that doesn't hurt. I then was ready to start my journey, so I threw my first Eye of Ender, and it led me to where the stronghold was going to be, and we were off. I journeyed for the rest of the day, and once it finally got dark, I slept under the stars to get ready for the next day. Day 89, and we're already closing in on the stronghold. It's on that mountain right there in front of me. Not far away from my house at all. I mean, honestly, only like a half day's travel, so that's really nice. I had some trouble with the Eye of Enders, locating exactly where to dig down at. I blame it on the Eye of Enders, but it's probably just my fault. I was probably just doing it wrong or getting confused by it or something. But anyways, I ended up having to sleep under the stars one more night before I could finally dig down to try to find the stronghold. Day 89, and we finally reached the stronghold. I finally got the achievement, I Spy. Like I said, I had some trouble finding where the stronghold was. I dug in the wrong spot. I did this exact same thing I did here, but in a completely different spot and missed the stronghold. So I had to rethrow an Eye of Ender, and I ended up digging here. But on day 89, we ended up finding the stronghold, and that was it. I didn't explore it or anything because it was already about nighttime again. On day 91, I was exploring the stronghold when I realized that I completely forgot to combine my Sharpness 4 and my Unbreaking 3 sword. So I ended up having to go all the way back to my base, that way I could combine them, because I wanted to have the best of the best if I was going to fight the Ender Dragon, so I had to make the trip all the way back. Good thing it's not that far from my house. On day 92, I finally made it back home and combined my swords. I got really lucky. I had the exact enchantment levels that I needed, and that's the whole reason I came home. So I went back to the stronghold after that to get ready to fight the Ender Dragon. Days 93 through 95 were spent fighting through and exploring the stronghold, and I've never had a stronghold with such bad stronghold generation. I mean, look at this. Right in the middle of a cave, there's a door, and that door leads to absolutely nothing. It's just an iron door in the middle of a cave. I explored for 2 full days, and honestly, I was getting worried that I wasn't going to find a stronghold. I did find a chest with 2 diamonds in it, however. But then, as I was finally exploring, whenever I was about to give up, I was honestly getting worried I wouldn't get to fight the Ender Dragon in this 100 days. I finally found it. I found the stronghold, and it had 0 Eye of Enders in it. And lucky for me, I only had 10 Eye of Enders, so again, I made it there. I thought I was getting ready to fight the Ender Dragon, but I had the worst luck, and now I'm going to have to go all the way back and hopefully kill Enderman in time to be able to fight the Ender Dragon in this 100 days. The night of the 95th, once I finally made it back, I only got 1 Ender Pearl from killing Enderman. On the night of the 96th, I finally got my last Ender Pearl. I was finally ready to go fight the Ender Dragon. So after that, I decided to go sleep to get ready for the next day, and I took one last good look at my world, because this could be the potential last time I see this world if the Ender Dragon fight doesn't go well. Day 97, and I was finally ready. I was double checking my inventory just to make sure I had everything I need, and then I did it. I jumped through the end portal to go fight the Ender Dragon. This could be the last time I ever see this world. My end spawn was actually a pretty good spawn. I've definitely had a lot worse. The first thing I did was secure it just a little bit more, and then I was ready. I finally started tunneling in to go fight the Ender Dragon, and hopefully not die. As soon as I got in, I was calm, cool, and collected. I wasn't nervous at all. I started sniping these end crystals off their towers like they were nothing. My strategy for this Ender Dragon fight was a pretty simple one. Always have slow falling going, and almost always have a golden apple up. The last thing I want to do is die with 23 golden apples in my inventory, so I'm going to use them and I'm going to eat them like candy. I then towered up and I shot this end crystal, and then I sniped another one off of its tower. I then towered up and I hit another end crystal with my pickaxe. I jumped down and I only had a couple end crystals left at this point. Slow falling definitely allows you to do more brave things, like tower up all the way to the top of this big end tower and shoot this crystal, but whenever you have slow falling, you feel a lot more brave. But I shot this end crystal, and then I just had 2 more left at this point, of which I sniped one, and then I sniped the other one, and then it was time to start fighting the dragon. I then went and started hitting him with my sword to get him weak. Me and the dragon, we tangoed, we danced back and forth. She got some hits in, I got some hits in, but in the end it was me that won. I finally hit her with my last arrow, and I had won. I had freed the end, I defeated the dragon on ultra hardcore, and I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. These 100 days were not in vain. I didn't die on day 97, and I had finally done it. I gathered all the experience, and then I hopped back through the end portal to trigger the cutscene. Day 98, I did a whole bunch of enchanting. I got some good stuff. I got Fortune 3, Unbreaking 3 finally on a pickaxe. It only took me 98 days, but I finally got it. I got Unbreaking 3 on a book, which was great, because I was going to put that on an elytra whenever I do some instant grading. Maybe in the next 200 days. We'll see. And then I got Feather Falling on boots, finally. I finally got all the good stuff I wanted after the Ender Dragon. Then I put them on my other boots, and I had Protection 4, Unbreaking 3, and Feather Falling 4. On day 99, I decided to go to the Nether to see if I could find some netherite, and had absolutely 0 luck. And I mean absolutely 0 luck. Day 100, we finally made it, and I spent the entire day doing one of the most satisfying things in Minecraft, mining diamonds with a Fortune 3 pickaxe. These were diamonds that I had collected with Silk Touch, and I didn't really need diamonds at the moment, so I was just kind of waiting until I got Fortune 3 to mine them. And I ended up, I think, getting a stack and a half of diamonds. So what a way to spend my day 100. And then, on top of that, I decided to have a diamond party at sunset. I mean, look at that beautiful sunset, and then look at these beautiful diamonds. I was just having so much fun. I mean, look, I was so happy, just throwing my diamonds around. If you've made it this far in the video, be sure to comment Diamond Party. And so far on my channel, the video with the most likes has 192 likes. If we can break 200 likes, I'll go straight on to 200 days, so 200 likes for 200 days. And then I spent the last little bit of day 100 picking up my diamonds because, you know, I need diamonds. I can't just leave them laying on the ground. And then I went back to go to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and maybe I'll catch you in 200 days.